My oven's going up to 280 degrees, aka angry mode, all right? Hello everybody, it's Barry here. Hope you are well. Welcome to our kitchen. All right, today I'm very excited indeed. Fairly recently I did a video, my first stromboli. It was kind of like a rolled up pizza. You guys loving it. Now today I'm gonna make my first proper calzone. I think it's calzone. I had a friend called Callum at college and he was like, hey, you're entering the calzone. He's before his time. Calzone. Calzone, you're entering the Callum, you were right, mate. Just not going to do a standard calzone. I'm going to try and do something a little bit inspired from my trip to the Boston area, Massachusetts. My friends Cindy and Sammy, Cindy's my American mum, Sammy and Bob, they introduced me to chicken parm, and it is sensational, so simplistic. Used to get home from summer camp, have that. I've had it a couple of times, it just blew my mind. I should do a video on that, but no. I'm going to kind of do a little cheats way of a calzone, chicken parm, calzone. One way around. So yesterday was Sunday, my day of rest normally. In fact, I don't normally ever rest. I'm quite a busy person. I do things around the house. We tried cleaning our oven. Get a lot of stick for our oven. We tried cleaning it. We have to get a professional oven cleaner out. Just couldn't get it all off. We made our dough yesterday. We got the big old bowl and some 00 flour. If you can get that, it's kind of like the secret agent of flour. Sieve it into a bowl with a pinch of salt. Mix that through just so it's nice and combined, but to one side, if you can get fresh yeast, this is even better. It's quite hard to get it in the UK, but this is something I was taught on my pizza course. You can add olive oil and sugars to your dough, but this is like apparently the most authentic way. I'm gonna say that and everyone's gonna hate me. Get your water and it's gonna be cold. Normally it's lukewarm to get it working quicker, but because we're going for an overnight prove with the dough, it's going to develop the flavors more. That was what I was told, and I'm experimenting a lot with dough at the moment, so that's what we did. I had my wind-up scales, making sure that I got 14 grams, which is 2 teaspoons of the yeast. If it's fresh yeast, you need a little bit less than that, in fact, a lot less than that. Let it dissolve and slowly pour it in after making a well in the bowl with the flour. Stir it all in and start to make your dough. It'll be a little bit rough at first, as you know, but just keep going till you got it nice and smooth. Now that is a lot of dough, enough to make 8 to 10 pizzas in itself. So it's up to you whether you just completely knead it all together. It will be quite rough by doing it with the fork anyway. So you really want to get your hands in there and on a nice floured down surface, work it away for about 10 minutes. And you'll feel it in your hands. It will, as you keep adding more flour to it, it will kind of go less tacky and it will actually feel a little bit lighter and smoother. And it's a really nice feeling when you get a nice shaped ball. And then rested it with a tea towel on top. Once you're happy with your dough and it's nice and smooth, it's had a little bit of a rest, you can now cut it into portions, so into 6, 8, 10s, or even just one humongous pizza if you want. I left mine overnight, cling film on, just completely left it, and that is our dough ready. And it smells like a brewery. I always make such a mess when I'm making pizza dough. Hopefully with the pizzeria coming this year, COVID pending, or maybe next year, who knows, I'm really turning into a bit of a pizza nerd this year, so I'm really trying to learn so much I can about pizza. I have got permission from Mrs. B to do a homemade pizza wood-fired oven in our garden, so I'm probably going to do that in one bulk video and film it over like a few weeks and then just stick it up as one. I don't like those videos that I do like, this is like 10 parts, okay? It's just going to be my adventure in pizza ovenness. Right. Dough is ready. Got one of my dough balls, gonna knead it again, bring it back to life a little bit, smoothing it up. That is so soft and tender, and it smells. It smells like an English pub. I'm sorry if you're under the age of drinking, but I really like the smell of beer and yeast and stuff. So, oh, homemade brewery. Should we do something like that? I don't mean turning my house into a pub, but I mean beers. Wow, maybe. But with that overnight proof, I mean, let's say we can leave it another night, it's gonna have some super tangy flavor. I'm just gonna leave this, a little bit of flour on top to one side, and I'm gonna talk to you about the chicken parm. Oh, and the stromboli video I did, which is amazing by the way, if you've never had one, they're so nice. People are like, are you gonna do stromboli in the pizzeria? Are you gonna do calzone? Of course. To me, if it's the same amount of dough and you're just gonna fold it or roll it up, why the hell not, you know? It's really weird as well. I'm getting some help, but I am going to have to interview for a restaurant manager. My key word would be like, do you have seal on your Spotify playlist? Anyhow, chicken tenders. All right, so chicken parmigiana. Oh my gosh, it's a dinosaur or like Bigfoot. Oh. Harry and the Hendersons was an amazing movie. Don't know if you've ever seen that from the 80s. So good. It's breaded chicken, and if you want to make your own, brilliant. You could put some Kentucky Fried Style chicken in it. Ha! But it's so much easier. You can buy these. This is refrigerated ones. You can get them in the freezer section as well. But they must, whichever you buy, they must be cooked through fully, okay? Just say it's on a Barry Lewis seal pat. There is a sale on February and March for my cake stands, seal pats, and the veggie prep kits, because I'm gonna not have any stock for a few months. The veggie prep kits, there's only a few left in America. There's quite a lot coming to the UK, but once they're gone until the summer, that'll be it, okay? So it's just kind of like, I'm gonna say that a few times in the next few videos. Of course, if it's frozen, let it go, let it go. You would bake these a little bit longer. That totally looks like an animal, doesn't it? Have I bought kids ones? Amazing. They're going in for 15 minutes, because if it's frozen, that was why I started singing Frozen. It wasn't just a thing. It'll take a little bit longer, like 10 minutes longer. All right, so when it comes to my sauce, it is in here. I actually been making my own homemade pizza sauce loads recently. This is just some simmered down tomatoes. They're super soft, whizzed up with a little bit of garlic and basil. That is literally it. I'm sure there's loads of crazy concoctions. I keep it in there. I don't really keep it in this mug, but I wanted to show you on the last video. I show you how Phoebe designed this t-shirt, and then this arrived. And if you wanted to support her in any way, because she's really passionate about it, she had some amazing feedback to the point where she was almost embarrassed. But thank you to the sales, I can get her a stylist now rather than the tinfoil thing. I don't want to tell her like how well it's done, because I don't want her to feel embarrassed or something, but I'm definitely going to put the rest of that into her savings. So if you supported it, thank you so much. And she wants to do like a t-shirt of the month on the channel. So if you've got any ideas for t-shirts, do let me know down below, and I'll get her to try this calzone at the end, and maybe we'll get her to say something, but she's generally quite embarrassed by it. So thank you if you supported that. That is the sound of a pug seeing a horse. All right, so I've got some mozzarella that I'm going to tear on there with our sauce, the chicken tenders that are cooking, and some Parmesan, which I used my veggie prep kit yesterday to make some dauphinoise potatoes. Very nice indeed. We ran out of cheddar cheese, so I was like, oh, that's all right. I'll shove some Parmesan in there. Cheese. Oh, they smell so good. So if you did want to muck around with it though, like different coatings, I did see in the supermarket they had one that had like salt and pepper on the breadcrumb too. But of course, if you're making it from scratch, that's no worries as well, all right? But I'm trying to stay fairly true to my chicken parm roots. So I'm just getting it into little pieces like this. And if it cools down, look, I don't even want to cut that up. That is literally a dog. Doesn't matter if it cools down, work on your dough. The one thing I will say, I'm going to cook it on this tray, and we need to get it nice and hot. So I've kept my oven on. You need the oven nice and hot so it can cook the bottom as well. So I'm going to take that right up to pizza mode, super hot. Oven shattering territory, heat alarms setting off territory where we were here before. Boston, give it a rest, mate. You're literally a pug. You could not defeat a horse, okay? Maybe in cuteness. Yeah, my oven's going up to 280 degrees, aka angry mode, all right? Have a piece of baking parchment ready. We did this on the Stromboli too. I found this is a genius hack. I probably didn't come up with it, but just a way of transferring it. So we're gonna make our dough first of all. It's already at room temperature, so it's nice and easy. So just get it into a circle about 10 to 12 inches. All right. And of course you can use a rolling pin too if you want. Completely up to you. Pick a side, all right? And you're gonna go with half of it, okay? So imagine there's a line along here, because that's where you're gonna fold it, and just spoon some sauce on. And again, a bit like when you're making a pizza, try to keep a little bit of a border so you can get that seal in place, okay? Tell you what, folks, it is quite surreal to have a herb named after you. So, freshly ripped basil here. I blooming love basil. The smell of it is so good. It's so easy to grow your own as well. This is from a packet in the supermarket, but it grows in like a day. When I started buying Parmesan in the supermarket, I remember being like, no, they've got Parmigiana Reggiano, but not Parmesan, okay? Yeah, that was me. We're gonna take some mozzarella and just rip little pieces of it, okay? Just stick it in between. Doesn't matter if it's like little shreds. Remember I did a video on homemade mozzarella. That was super fun. A little bit more Parmigiana Reggiano on top. And now, yes, we do fold it over and seal. Hello, Rose. into place. So I don't know if there's actually a formal way that we do this. I'm just gonna push it together. Right, I'm now gonna transfer this onto baking parchment, which I should have done a minute ago. All right, here's what's gonna happen. Red hot pan on the preheated oven's coming out. Oven gloves are on. Sticking the calzone on it, straight back in the tray. I'll do my best to pan it, if I can. Pan it. Woo, that's hot. So then we slide that on there. All right, how's that doing? Nice. Okay, spin you round. Yeah, this always happens. The heat alarm has gone off. I just opened the oven. So my extractor's coming on now. It just sets it off because it's so hot, the oven. That's why I'm gonna make pizza outdoors soon. All right, it's gonna be a little bit loud, sorry. But it's nearly done. I'm just gonna take it out. Apparently this is optional. It's not something I would personally do, but we're gonna put some more cheese and sauce on the outer edge of it, okay? I think I just said it's not something I'd normally do. It's not something I'd normally do because I've not made these before. What I mean is it's not something I like the idea of. I think it is all right as it is. It's more like a pasty. My heat alarm will go off in a minute. Oh my gosh. Oh, that looks amazing. This is fine. Mozzarella blobs. No Parmesan. Just mozzarella and sauce. And then back in so we set our alarm off again. Only a couple more minutes now just to melt that mozzarella on there. Shiver me timbers. Just about done. That looks amazing. Just waiting to get a little bit of colour on that mozzarella. Now I've just done another one off camera, a little bit neater, and also this time brushed it with melted butter. That's something someone did tell me on my pizza course, so I don't know if that'll make a difference, but it's good to compare. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. And it fell off. Oh my gosh, that looks superb. Now I'm going to quickly get that one on the hot tray back in there. You don't need to see that. But that looks amazing. It's been like an extra 2 minutes in there. That's all it needed. Hot oven. I'm so impressed with how this turned out. And if I keep talking, I'm going to burn it. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I just tried to get just a few little specks of like scorch marks, I guess, on the mozzarella, so it melted, but then just a little bit of char on there, not too much. I'm so excited to try this. All right, Elon Musk with your NASA top on.
Hello.
How are you feeling about the toaster t-shirt and mug and that?
Thank you very much for buying the t-shirts. I didn't think it would get so many. But thank you.
You can get a stylus now, yeah?
Yes.
Effectively, it's kind of like a chicken tender pizza, isn't it? So we're going to slice it down the middle. I guess you could have an extra pop. Oh, can you see that?
Oh.
Look at that, folks. You could actually like have another dunking pot of marinara sauce to one side. Oh my gosh, that mozzarella. Oh,
That is yummy.
that is amazing. I love the combo of chicken parm anyway. Do you know, you never had it really? Not really made it for the kids before. Like chicken, you've got the parmesan, but the mozzarella, the tomato sauce, and the dough.
Stonking.
Stonking? I just realised you're homeschooling. Didn't you have like a Zoom assembly or something? And the heat alarm was going off. It's like, yeah, Daddy's cooking again.
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all three.
And yes, I did only make this because I wanted to say the word seal. I'm not doing it, but I will in a minute, alright? That's literally the reason I'm doing this. The only reason I want a pizzeria is every time we make a calzone, I'm going to shout seal.